This message comes from Greenlight. Ready to start talking to your kids about financial literacy? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app that teaches kids and teens how to earn, save, spend wisely, and invest with your guardrails in place. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Join millions of parents and kids building healthy financial habits together on Greenlight. Get started, risk-free, at greenlight.com/get started. That's GREENLIGHT.com/get started.
This is the second time we've needed new XLR cables this month. What have I told you, Tom?
The answer is almost never push harder.
Push harder, exactly. And what were you doing? What were you doing?
I want to check the radio.
Once again, we repeat, an insane murderer has escaped from the local asylum. Be alert at all times. He has a hook for a hand and a wooden leg. And in sports today...
Crazy.
Yeah, for sure. Oh, dude. Did you forget to fill up the car again?
Wait, if you don't use the last quarter tank, it gets spoiled in there. You got to use it all up.
Oh, that is not true. Great. Now we're stranded.
We're not stranded.
Awesome.
I'll call us a tow truck. It's not...
What's
Yeah, no bars. No bars.
Oh, fucking Verizon. I guess we'll have to just walk it.
Yeah, I guess so.
Hook for a hand, murderer!
Oh, Jesus Christ!
I got you guys, huh?
I almost stabbed you. I almost stabbed you with the keys.
What is a spooktacular?
This is our Halloween episode, guys. It's all about the creepiest urban legends.
Okay, I'll admit that bit with the radio was good. How did you do that anyway?
Oh, yeah, Noah is actually literally hiding inside your dashboard right now.
It's true, I am. Really great that you guys turned off the radio when you did. I didn't have anything for sports, so...
Okay. And what about the gas, though? How'd you plan that?
Oh, no, that was really Tom's fault. I was going to wait till you guys got out.
Okay, you guys are spoiling your cars, okay? You're spoiling them.
It's not how it works, man.
Gotta make them tough.
Hello and welcome to Citation Needed, the podcast where we choose a subject, read a single article about it on Wikipedia, and pretend we're experts, because this is the internet, and that's how it works now. I'm Noah, and I'll be the chin the flashlight starts under tonight, but what good is it to weave the tale if you don't have any dupes to dupe? So I brought along three men whose beards are competing for the lead role in Disney's Chewbacca origin story, Tom, Cecil, and Eli.
Okay, yeah, but my beard is actually so gray, it's more of a just for men origin story.
Chewbacca, huh? Well, I'll have you know, I refer to my signature look as shabby Kashyyyk. Thank you very much.
Darth Shaver shit. So I'm sorry. They had too good.
Don't go punt if you can't go punt.
It's close. You guys
almost made it there.
Didn't do it.
And of course, before we start making with the good stuff, I want to remind you that the only reason we've ever done anything remotely good in all our lives is because of our patrons. And if you'd like to learn how to join their ranks, be sure to stick around to the end of the show. And with that out of the way, tell us, Eli, what person, place, thing, concept, phenomenon, or subject will we be talking about today?
We'll be tackling the spooktacular.
All right.
No.
With a list of urban legends, Noah.
Okay. So, Cecil, a two-part question. One, are you ready to tell us untrue stories as your citation needed essay? And two, do you see how your friendship with Eli is rubbing off on you now?
The more I insist we aren't friends, the more Eli insists on rubbing off on me. So, yeah.
I guess so.
It's true. Should be a lighter sleeper. That's on you.
All right, so why did you go with urban legends?
So, for Halloween this year, I wanted to do a spooky topic.
Spooktacular.
Okay, a spooktacular, if you will.
God damn it.
And
we're not doing that.
I did some digging around, and what kept popping up are these really cheesy urban legends that were posted on message boards, shared in bulk emails, forwarded by grandma, even passed around in chain letters before the internet even existed. But what better way to spend this spooky holiday than debunking and laughing at all these tales with a bunch of killjoys?
Okay, I am not a killjoy, Cecil, but I do invite everyone to check out my new podcast. It's also featuring 5 different middle-aged bearded white guys. It's a fresh take on cultural issues that we're calling, well, actually.
When I went out and looked for spooky stories, I found a story about a vicious murderer pair that sold their bodies of their victims to a mad scientist. But yeah, I look what wherever would you find a true story that was creepy? So I get it.
Look, Noah, if we all took this show as seriously as you did, it'd be a different show. Okay, it'd just be a different show.
You can say boring. That's so mean.
That is mean. So let's start where all horror should start. In Iowa.
Yeah.
There's a cemetery in Iowa City, the Oakland Cemetery. Spooktacular. Here we come, guys. That has an angel statue made of bronze. Over the years, the metal's oxidized, turned almost black with patina. Students around the bustling metropolis of Iowa City visiting the cemetery, and they basically dare each other to touch or kiss the statue. The legend is that if you kiss the statue, it will strike you dead because it's the angel of death. That is, of course, unless you're a virgin, which is a great prank to play on your classmates that totally touch a boob near the Canadian border.
You know, this game is just an excuse for young boys to grope a bronze statue. I am sure that black patina is truly almost all over the statue, but I also guarantee that tits on that thing glow in the dark at this point.
The best thing about this urban legend is it's resulted in some weird bargaining with the angel of death.
Mark, you touched my statue and I have come for you.
What? I'm no virgin.
Yes, you are, Mark. Everybody knows hand stuff doesn't count.
What? Yeah, it does. It totally counts.
No, it doesn't, Mark.
That's queer erasure. You're erasing couples that don't have penises.
No, Mark. You're not in a queer relationship. Stephanie just doesn't want to fuck you because you smell like Axe body spray.
That's fair. Here's one that Noah is just going to love. It's the legend of a stand-up, old-timey arcade game called Polybius.
Hell yeah.
Now, this game is supposedly the hottest thing to hit arcades in 1981, but only around the Portland, Oregon area. It had some fine competition in 1981. Defender, Miss Pac-Man, Donkey Kong, Frogger, Galaga, all these were released this year.
Oh, and that's not even to mention Centipede, Tempest, Gorf, Kicks, Mousetrap, Scramble, Space Dungeon, Space Fortress, Space Fury, Space Odyssey, Space Secret.
No, you have to stop me. You have to.
Sorry, it was a really good year. Okay.
But this game was supposedly so addictive that lines would form around the block just to play it, and people would get into fist fights over who would get the next game. People also started to experience psychosis after playing it, night terrors, amnesia, hallucinations. After a month of the game collecting quarters nonstop, the Men in Black showed up to unplug the game, roll it out the door, and it disappeared without another word. I will point out this line from the wiki article because it feels super important. Quote, the name of the purported arcade game itself, Polybius, is also the name of a classic Greek historian, known for his assertion that historians should never report what they cannot verify through interviews with eyewitnesses and quotes.
Noah actually has the Polybius for the Schmaxion 443. You have to tape the controller to the wall and running scissor pick it to move. But it was the first video game to employ left. It's pretty exciting.
Another popular legend is that of the Vanishing Lady.
Her boyfriend did it.
Oh, okay.
Now the vanishing boyfriend.
Her parents know where he is.
In this story, a mom and daughter head to a very fancy fair or a gathering of some kind. They, of course, want to have an extravagant time at this event, so they stay in an expensive hotel. The daughter and the mother get separate rooms and head up for the night early as the mother isn't feeling well. The daughter comes back down and she comes to the lobby the first thing in the morning and waits for her mom. Eventually, she heads to the desk to ring her mom's room, and the hotel clerk says there's no record of the mother ever having a room at the hotel. After much investigation, the daughter eventually finds out that her mother had the plague or some kind of sickness, and she died in her room overnight. And the hotel covered up the fact that she was there and got rid of the body so it would not impact their reputation.
Ah, yes, the plague. Very well known for being a subtle and swift killer, leaving marks Visible only to bellhops and front desk hotel managers.
A silent killer. Yeah.
Is it weird that I still suspect the boyfriend? I feel like
Okay. No, it's
No,
not.
no, that makes that tracks.
Okay, John Bubos was kind of the giveaway. Signing it like that.
Next up is a place in Connecticut, a tiny non-town called Dudleytown. This is a little area, basically an abandoned settlement. Supposedly it was founded by the descendants of Edmund Dudley, a treasonous English lord. His ancestors fled England after Henry VIII cut off his head, and they founded this settlement. Well, evidently being treasonous to Henry VIII has some collateral punishment. You see, the family that fled England was cursed. Nothing they planted grew, and some of them went insane, and now the settlement of Dudleytown is no more. Except there's no genealogical link to that particular English lord, and, quote, the village's decline has instead been attributed to its distance from clean drinking water, and the soil's not well suited for cultivation, end quote.
that'll get you.
I can see it now. Well, gentlemen, they either died from starvation and disease or... No, it's the 16th century. There's actually no need to go on. It's starvation.
Yeah, just
and disease.
stop. Just stop.
Or
Yeah.
Pretty much it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, that sounds bad, but I can't wait to hear who Lord Detroit pissed off.
Spoilers. Let's shift gears to legends of creepy creatures and killers stalking the night. Let's start with the hype over the evil clown sightings that were popping up all over 2016. These sightings were reported all over the US and Canada, and it seems to have started in the cheese curd capital of the world, Green Bay, Wisconsin. Pictures of a creepy clown wandering around the city were posted on the internet. This, of course, is a viral marketing campaign for a short film called Gags. Then these started popping up all over because people wanted to be internet famous for like a few seconds.
Anonymously. Like, holy shit, at the intoxication of an ephemeral whiff of secondary pseudo fame.
No kidding, right? These happen at such an alarming rate. This is great. The World Clown Association president, Randy Christensen, had to make
Learn
a
something new every day on that
public
one.
statement condemning these rogue clowns. McDonald's put their main mascot, Ronald McDonald, on ice for a few months until the clown hysteria settled down. One sociologist said at the time that it was, quote, a bad time to be a professional clown, end quote.
Okay, all times are bad for that.
That's very true. No
Well,
time.
Hey, at least we all heard of that short film, right? It was super successful, right? Super worth scaring a bunch of people, starting an international fear thing with a bunch of consequences. I didn't just hear about that short film for the first fucking time right now when Cecil said it, and I don't hate them. That's the only thought I have about them is not hate. So that was worth it. That was a great
America
idea.
loves its short films. That's just, we're really crazy
That's
for a
true.
short film.
We are big into it.
This seriously though, this clown thing got so crazy that embassies were issuing warnings. Police
Warning,
also had to
Americans are
issue
stupid.
warnings. I know, like, but it's crazy. Like, it was like the Russian embassy and the English embassy both issued warnings in, I don't know. Anyway,
Warning,
it
the
said
disinformation is working too well.
The police also had to issue warnings to people dressing up as clowns in an attempt to scare people. Halloween shops around the world pulled clown outfits off their shelves. And I mean, it's just makeup, wigs, and weird clothes. But I guess they took the masks and the clown costume packs off the shelves. Schools passed blanket bans on clown costumes.
Hey, I'm sorry. Was dressing as a clown for school previously perfectly acceptable? That's just
Class clown, thank you very much.
Okay.
There were-
All right.
There were rumors of a purge that was supposed to happen on Halloween night, perpetrated by people in clown costumes. Quote, many people took baseball bats to the street to hunt clowns. College students formed mobs. Campgrounds floated rumors of attack clowns. End quote.
Yeah, the problem with clown hunting is you have to get your clown tags way in advance, but I gotta say, it is worth it since you can fit so many of them into one tiny freezer.
Yeah.
You hit them with the bat and they honk, and that's always awkward. So wait. So this country was already on high alert for crazy clowns with homicidal intentions in 2016, and still it voted for Trump.
Ooh.
In Fairfax County, Virginia, they have a legend of the Bunny Man. Now, this is not a bunny-human hybrid. It's a guy in a bunny suit with an axe. Supposedly in 1970, a couple were parallel parking outside an uncle's house when a guy in white smashed their window with an axe.
So far, Cecil,
Terrified.
the axe is the main character, not
I
the
know,
bunny
right?
outfit.
The axe, but what we'll tie it together is both an axe and a bunny outfit, Tom. So there will be 2 points. He smashed the window with the axe. They drive away. They're terrified. The guy in the bunny suit, as they drive away, screams, "You're on private property, and I have your tag number." They reportedly found the hatchet.
Yeah.
I know, it's so weird.
He thought that police encounter was going to go well for him. It's not even an alternate side of the street. Good evening, officer. Take him away. That's right, Mr. Axie. Take him away.
They reportedly find the hatchet on the floorboards of the car and they drive to safety. The man remembers the bunny ears. So he remembers a guy in bunny ears. But the woman thought the guy had a white KKK hood on. I suspect it was the latter.
It could be both.
Yeah, it could be both. It could be both. And 10 days later, a construction security guard comes up to a guy sitting on a porch in an unfinished home, chopping away with an axe.
What?
The guy was in a bunny suit and said, "You are trespassing, and if you come any closer, I'll chop off your head." And the guy who reported it did so with his head still attached. So idle threats. I mean, he didn't really do it.
Okay, I kind of feel like this urban legend is explained away by an asshole furry.
Or somebody desperately trying to set somebody up for a perfect, it's just a harmless little bunny joke and nobody taking the bait.
Yeah, sure.
The next one is the Bandage Man of Canyon Beach. We head again back to Oregon, where a tall man covered in bandages supposedly walks along the beach at night, terrorizing groups of teenagers, especially those making out in cars. His interests include, you guessed it, long walks on the beach and smelling like he's rotting.
Okay.
Story's origin goes back to the 1960s. 2 teenagers are supposedly making out in a pickup truck, maybe near the beach. Not sure. Doesn't say. Anyway, the bandage man jumps on the back of the truck. Terrified teens start the car, floor it, and escape. I found a great detailed account of this ghost story on a website for a local pizza parlor in Canyon Beach that implored people to stay in at night because of the bandage man. And while you're stuck in the house, this place delivered.
Yeah.
So
To be fair, Cecil, he was just harassment man until he flew out the back of the pickup.
then he's bandage man. Then he's bandage man.
Hey guys, can we just try check out my short film? It's really good, or our pizza is yummy and piping hot. Sometimes we just do ad. Maybe we just advertise the things we sell in the one step.
Viral marketing is the future.
I've never bought something because of a not product related something.
The next one isn't so much a person as it is a silhouette of a person. These are called the Dark Watchers, and they're supposed to be giant-sized humanoids that have big brim hats and walking sticks, and they only come out when there's just enough light that the shadows play tricks on your stupid brain. They basically stand at the top of a ridge nearby and watch you, so they're part of the ridge that vaguely looks human-shaped. But they make it into stories, like John Steinbeck's Flight. Most of the wiki is useless. The authors of the page chalk it up to what they call misinterpretation of natural stimulus.
No.
But there is one part that really was interesting. Quote, infrasound, which can be generated by wind, can cause feelings of uneasiness and anxiety in some people, and it's frequently connected to paranormal sightings. I didn't know that.
Okay, yeah, but the reality of this one is just dumbness, right? These sightings are
It's true,
basically
man.
pretty much always, it's like a person seeing their own shadow on the fog that's up ahead of them. Right? It's stupidness is the explanation. We don't need infrasound for this.
Alternate dimension meat? Nope, a mirror. Another mirror. Oh, put it on Wikipedia.
Now we move into the Kelly Hopkins encounter. In August of 1955, 5 adults and 7 children walk into the Hopkinsville police station and claim they've been holed up in their farmhouse for hours, shooting at aliens to keep them at bay. They claim that 12 to 15 little aliens would pop up all around their windows like a shooting gallery, and then they would open fire. The cops sent a bunch of officers out, and when they got there, the cops did find evidence of gunfire, but no aliens. Many skeptics have weighed in on this and said basically that they were drunk people shooting at owls.
Side note, if you ever see an alien, they have interstellar travel that, as far as we know, is impossible. Don't shoot at them. They'll probably fly us up. They came up with better guns before the interstellar travel.
Legend that spans 3 states, Michigan, Ohio, and Connecticut, the Melonheads, which are not a gross flavor of candy from the 1900s. The Melonheads of Michigan are supposedly kids that escaped from an asylum that had hydrocephalus. The only problem is that there's no record of any asylum. Story goes that this group of kids all killed their abusive asylum guard and hid in the nearby forest and either an abandoned mansion or a series of caves. They're, of course, all dead now, but you can call them up to chat with a medium or a seance. The story is similar in Ohio, where a horrible doctor experimented on children. They became deformed. They eventually, quote, rose up and murdered him and retreated to the surrounding forest to feed on babies.
Wait. Was the surrounding forest full of unattended babies to eat? What?
They definitely didn't go into the gathering part of that hunter-gatherer thing.
Yeah.
I did not explain it. The Connecticut version has the group of children surviving a hospital fire, but then staying in the woods and resorting to incest and cannibalism. The article is not clear on which order that's in, though.
Okay, now we know why Heath isn't on this week's episode. You did what you had to do, buddy. Come on back. No judgments, huh? Come on, big head. Love you.
Next up is Skinned Tom. So this fellow is a good-looking Playboy type, getting with all the ladies, so prolific that he has to start looking outside of his own town for new ladies to date. Dating to this suave guy, of course, was parking his car at Makeout Point and fogging the windows, stealing second. In any case, he's out one night, lovely young lady from out of town, when someone pulls the woman out of the car and then kills her and then knocks Tom out. Tom wakes up skinned alive. Not sure that's the situation that you can just wake up from, but he does. No. And now he prowls Tennessee with a hunting knife the guy used to skin him, taking his aggression out on young lovers at Makeout Point.
Okay, that's a full body circumcision. They call that an aft to foreskinning.
Foreskinning. Bravo.
Can I just say that, like, a lot of urban legends seem based on misplaced aggression? Like,
yes.
Tom, I'm sorry someone interrupted your makeout session and cut off all your skin, but you are perpetuating the cycle here, buddy.
I mean, it's nice to know that eventually all these scary stories of what might come if you engage in premarital sex were replaced by STDs.
I guess we're still doing action verb proper noun, and that brings us to Walkin' Sam, guys. This is supposedly a spirit that haunts Native American reservations. He travels to these places, finds vulnerable youth, and then tries to convince them to kill themselves. He has a stovepipe hat, which is pretty much an Abe Lincoln hat. Sometimes he rides a horse. Chances are that the people on the reservations are viciously bullied, have to deal with constant racism and poverty, and become depressed. That is not as good a story as Walkin' Sam.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong, that's definitely bad, but I can't imagine running into Walking Sam is particularly, like, terrifying. Hey kid.
Walking Sam.
That's right. You guys want to kill yourself?
What? No, I'm good.
Not really, no.
Oh. Come on. Being a teen is hard. You got, like, math homework and stuff. Wouldn't you rather be dead? Come on.
No, I actually kind of like math. I'm good at it. And numbers
but
make
what
sense.
about that job market, huh? It seems pretty tough out there in the job market these days.
Well, actually, a lot of industries are seeing growth right now.
No, I heard so-called
It's
labor shortages are a propaganda attempt to keep wages down.
Okay. What if I told you guys it's a TikTok challenge?
Oh, me first.
go away.
There we go.
I'm dead now.
Jesus Christ. It would totally work. Last one of these is real. Story of the Green Man. In Western Pennsylvania, there's a man that wanders the country roads, wandering in the dark because he has no face. And I mean, it's real. He has a face, but it's just that when Raymond Robinson was a kid, he was trying to reach a bird's nest. He touched a trolley line. He lost both eyes, his nose, and his right arm.
Jesus.
Yeah. So Raymond kept to himself, naturally. He spent most of his days at home, but at night, he'd take his cane and he'd go for long walks on State Route 351. He mostly just tried to avoid people, but the wiki does say he would, quote, sometimes exchange a short conversation or a photograph for a beer or cigarettes, quote.
I'll talk to you, but not without a drink.
He was also hit by a car several times, but that did not deter him from his evening walks.
I don't want to shit on your essay, Cecil, because it's been great so far, but that last one was just One time a disabled person went for a walk.
I know, but he was in the list. He's in the list. I didn't make the
All
list.
right, so like fucking Walking Sam sometimes rides a horse and the green man is just white guy colored. I need a minute to cope with all of these betrayals. So disillusioned. And that makes it a perfect time for us to break for a little apropos of nothing.
I know you already clocked out, but it would be a huge help if you could stay tonight and help clean up.
Oh, that's chilling.
Yeah, really good, Tom. Really good.
Hey, what are you guys doing?
Oh, hey, Cecil. So we were thinking about how pervasive these urban legends are, on, the ones that we're talking about on this week's episode.
And just in general.
Yeah. So we were thinking, why not start a few of our own in hopes they'll make it into culture with some positive messages? Like the one Tom was just doing is Wage Theft Weasel.
Yeah.
He escaped from an abandoned Bear Stearns office, and he steals more in lost wages than all the other kinds of theft combined.
By a ton, like a lot.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, no, Noah, do your one.
Oh, yeah. The climate change choker. He strangles young lovers who don't support climate change legislation.
Yeah. And you can only scare him away by reading his name in the IPRC report.
It's hidden in there. Yeah.
Guys. I get what you're trying to do here, and it's admirable, but urban legends aren't just a thing you create. They're a part of culture. People don't just pick up whatever crazy idea you put in whisper form.
QAnon.
Fair. That is fair. How about the free preschool strangling? What do you say?
Noah already took choking, but I like where your head's at. I like
Okay,
where
all right, we'll
it's at.
change it up.
And we're back. When we last left off, people were terrified of a disabled person for being...
Okay, come on. I didn't write it.
No, I'll admit their terror is scary as fuck.
Okay.
So what else you got for us, Cecil?
All right. Next up, possession. Several urban legends talk about possession, and the first story deals with the possessed little kids called the Black-Eyed Children. They're scary because their dead, shark-eyed things are scary, I guess.
Oh, yeah, particularly sharks.
Yeah, that's
agreed.
scary.
Agreed. Yeah,
Very scary.
Yeah. The first story started being passed around as creepypasta, what they call creepypasta, which is basically a shared scary story on a message board. Sometimes these kids, they beg, other times they hitchhike, but they always should have brought their contacts because they have these creepy-ass dead eyes. No one thinks these kids exist, but occasionally tabloids will run stories about them. And a 2012 horror film that was kickstarted called The Black Eye Kids got enough backers to get it produced.
Okay, wait a minute. All they do is beg and hitchhike and like look funny. My actual kids are a bigger pain in the ass than these households.
Yeah, right.
Ditto.
Right.
These kids were obviously made up by someone whose toddler had never had a poop explosion.
Yes. Oh,
okay,
God.
that's right.
It's
Here's
up
your
his
movie.
back.
Yeah. There are no clean sleep suits. It's 4 a.m.
Next up, a demon called the Boo Hag. You'll remember this from the movie Cat's Eye, but in the movie, it was like a little voodoo doll. This legend calls for the Boo Hag to be skinless, so they appear red in color. They sometimes take people's skin and wear it like a onesie.
Okay, or if you're my size, it's a twosie. So
A twosie, yeah,
whatever.
they fit two Boo Hags. In any case, the Boo Hag visits you at night when you're still fast asleep, and like a mouse, they can squeeze through any crack and hole. They determine if they want to ride the human and then climb up on their chest and suck the breath out of them. There are two important limitations to this. They can't suck the breath or life out if they have the skin onesie on, so they have to hide it outside. They leave the victim alive unless they wake up. And in that case, they kill the person and take their skin onesie. Quote, after taking the victim's energy, the hag flies off as they must be in their skin by dawn or be forever trapped without skin, end quote. And I mean, I thought they already didn't have skin,
very
but okay,
confusing, actually.
it's very confusing.
I feel like you thoroughly looked through the pact for timing-based loopholes before you agree to be a breath-stealing demon. That's me. Right? That's me.
Yeah.
I feel like the worst thing they got stuck with there is the name Boo Hag, though. Right?
Yeah, it's pretty bad. It's pretty bad. Next up, creepy doll stories. This one is of Robert the doll. He's a cloth doll made in 1904, so he looks like a cauliflower ear. Basically, throughout history, the doll had been passed around. Supposedly it can move, make faces, and can giggle, but it probably can't since it's just cloth. In some versions of this legend, the doll has a girl's voice because it was given by a girl as revenge. I don't know. In other legends, they say the doll disappears and then changes houses that way. It's also said that the doll causes, quote, car accidents, broken bones, job loss, divorce, and a cornucopia of other misfortunes, end quote. The museum visitors supposedly experience post-visit misfortunes for failing to respect it. It's basically Talking Tina from the Twilight Zone, but it has a face of a foot.
Okay, that's just an interesting term from Wikipedia, a cornucopia. If I have to experience a series of terrible misfortunes, I do hope they're in a festive holiday cornucopia.
Cornucopia. Yeah,
Barring
exactly.
that, maybe just a gift bag from Claire's, though. I would take that. Fine.
Sorry, I'm stuck on the fact that he apparently causes divorces. who came home and Robert the doll was smoking a cigarette in bed next to his wife? Just like, oh.
I'm sure some of you had money on the asshole hucksters, Ed and Lorraine Warren making the list. Noah told us about them in Amityville Horror episode from August of 2020. Anyway, these liars have been pretending to be haunted in several stages throughout their lives. And the one I'm going to tell you about is Annabelle. A doll that they own is totally haunted, and they even proved it by selling a script for a movie about it.
Three scripts,
And a
Cecil. We reviewed the
TV
last
show.
one, and it was one time there was a murder, the movie.
No way.
No, I'm unconvinced the third one was scripted, but okay. We'll go with 3 scripts.
According to the Warrens, nurse got the doll in 1970 when the doll starts acting strangely, which I guess would include movement. The nurse
Sure.
is
Acting
visited.
anyway.
Yeah,
it's-
right,
it
really.
seems like, I guess that's movement, right? The nurse visits a medium, and the medium says that it's possessed by the spirit of Annabelle. The lady contacts the Warrens, who were all too happy to monetize the doll, and took it to their weird occult museum where it still is totally haunted and behind glass, and so it can retain its value. So now we do some cryptids here. We did this cryptid list a while back, but a couple of these legends escape mention, and they're pretty good. Let's start with I think it said Hodag.
You can ride him,
Hodag.
actually. He'll take
Hodag.
you all over.
Hodag, I think it is. It's a lizard bull thing. The image on Wikipedia looks nothing like what I'm about to describe, and this description is straight from Wikipedia. It has the head of a frog, but the face of an elephant.
What?
Don't ask me. I don't know.
Okay.
The
I
legs of
already
a
asked, I'm
bulldog
sorry.
and the back and tail of a stegosaurus. Okay.
What?
Evidently,
What?
it's a mishmash of other creatures came into being when people cremated a number of oxen and it materialized out of the ashes, the psychic avenger of all animal suffering. It's like,
so many
I don't know.
questions there.
A prankster named Eugene Shepard told people he caught one and basically put it on display for charge. When people from the Smithsonian planned to sort of inspect it and visit him, he basically admitted it was a hoax. They never say in the article what the creature was or how much he was charging.
I'm sorry. I'm stuck on the fact that the Smithsonian was going to come check out
Yeah.
the monkey chicken fish bear frog. feels like that's a veracity they can take care of over the phone. What? No, that doesn't exist. Smithsonian approved.
The Loveland frog is a 4-foot tall humanoid frog from Ohio.
No, it isn't.
It's not. You're right. It's not.
No.
It's not that at all. That's what
Me
they
and the
say. it is.
Smithsonian nailed that.
Yeah. In 1972, a police officer was driving by the Totes Boot Factory.
Immediately across the street from the Magoats Boot Factory.
Exactly.
How dare you?
And the frogman runs out in front of the car. He's said to probably weigh about 40 or 50 pounds. And he said it would stand erect and then crouch down, just like how frogs move, I guess. I don't know. Then it scampers over a guardrail and ran back down into like this riverbed. A couple weeks later, another cop says he saw the frog, same stretch of road. He gets out and he shoots it.
What?
Goes over, picks up. It's a cop. Of course,
didn't
he
say it was
shot
a
him.
black
He went over.
frog.
Yeah, he went over, picked up the body, puts it in the trunk, comes back to the station, and the two cops look at it. It was an iguana without a tail. No idea what happened to the tail, but it's just wandering around outside. So it must have escaped from someone's house, or they let it go. When someone was writing a book, there's a guy writing a book about legends. He comes to town to interview the two that he gets the story from, but he omitted the iguana part, and he just said it was a frogman. He's like, just omitted that part.
Yeah, well, also according to the cops, the iguana was armed, drew first, and their body cam malfunctioned.
It wasn't there, though. It just cut out. It just cut out over that period of time.
Detroit has the legend of the Nyan Rouge. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that correctly. The Red Dwarf. Little guy is a harbinger of terrible shit on the horizon.
Okay, the fact that you're in Detroit is a harbinger of terrible shit on the horizon.
Okay, no,
Cecil.
it's fair. It's fair.
Seeing Detroit on the horizon is a hard
The city is Nan Rouge. That's what.
According to legend, the cursed founder of Detroit, Antoine de la Moth Cadillac. I don't know.
Okay, I swear I wrote that first joke before I read this section of the
You wrote
essay.
him in order.
I swear.
I wrote him in order. Antoine was warned to appease the thing, this Nan Rouge, but when he finally comes across it, he smacked it with his cane and shouted, "Get away from me, you red hemp!" Cadillac then has a series of shitty luck, ending with him in prison in France. Every year, there's a parade to chase Nyan Rouge out of the city. They destroy it in effigy at the end of the parade, and I guess that makes it good for 1 year. People dress in different costumes each year, so Nyan Rouge doesn't recognize them and curse them individually.
Oh, see, they should have hired the clowns and then routed out the clowns to Nyan
there you
Rouge.
go.
Yeah,
two for
one.
one, sir.
Yep. A puckwidgie? Is that how you would say that? Puckwidgie? I don't know. That sounds like something that happens to you when you're in middle school and you're getting bullied.
Right,
But
yeah.
anyway, a
Right.
puckwedgie
A hockey
is
team based French.
Woodage?
a puck. I'm just going to say puckwedgie. I don't know how to say it. So a puckwedgie is another little devil. This one's from Delaware. It's a wild looking human that's between 2 and 3 feet tall. Their powers include invisibility, magic, archery with poison arrows, fireball, and luring people to their deaths.
That's a lot of powers.
If you piss one of these things off, you could just be the victim of tricks or practical jokes, or it can get a little more physical. Quote, they are known, I love that it says they're known in the Wikipedia. That is my favorite part. They're known to kidnap people, push them off cliffs, attack victims with short knives and spears, and use sand to blind their victims, end quote.
Oh, hey, you stupid little dog. Oh, shit, pocket sand. Fuck, I didn't see pocket sand.
Rougarou. Roo. I love it's Rougarou. Rougarou are Cajun werewolves. They are supposedly blood-drinking, half-humanoid, half-wolf creatures that hang around the swamp and attack people on occasion. They can shapeshift back into Cajun human, I guess. The story of these creatures is used to scare kids into following traditions, be it Cajun children or Catholic kids. I guess the Catholic kids get told that if they break Lent 7 years in a row, they become one of these Rougarou. The curse, I guess, is passed on after 101 days, but the werewolf can't tell anybody because it has like an NDA that goes with it. I don't know. It's weird. It's weird.
So if you had to summarize what you've learned in one sentence, Cecil, what would it be?
So many urban legends happen in rural areas. It's weird.
And are you ready for the quiz?
Let's do this.
All right, Cecil. These stories are fucking absurd. Who believes
are.
any of this shit? A, more people than should be possible. B, we really need to reform the educational system. Or
Yes.
C, every day is a fresh embarrassment.
I think we could do all three here. Why don't we go D, all of the above?
That is unfortunately the case, Cecil, and looks to continue to be for a long time.
Every day is a new fresh hell. Absolutely.
I have a great one. This one has like a little bit of audience participation. If our listeners would like to see an urban legend for themselves, they should look into the mirror and say what, Cecil?
Ooh, what would they say, Noah?
A, Candyman.
Okay.
B, Candyman.
All right.
Or C, Candyman.
If I say it, is he going to show up? Candyman, fuck!
Oh, no, there's a film student behind you.
I mean, if anyone can.
I'm going to go with secret answer D, all the above.
It is. I didn't realize I had the same answer as Tom until I
Oh,
saw that
perfect.
question.
All right, Cecil. What do you call the urban legend about me?
Okay.
A, the Chupacabra.
Chupacabra. Bravo.
B, the not so slender man. Or C,
And they drank all the mango nectar in 3 counties.
or C, the Eli Bosnick story.
Oh, it is 100% C, the Eli Bosnick story.
That is incorrect.
There you go. Hey, I'll tell you what,
Oh.
one way or the other, man, you obviously worked very hard on that one. I was going to give you the win. So, Eli, you're the victor, and you get to choose who next week's essayist will be.
Well, once I start a tacular, I just can't stop. Bueller.
No.
So I want even more
doesn't
urban
work.
legends from Cecil next week.
Sweet.
All right. Well, for Cecil, Eli, and Tom, I'm Noah. Thank you for hanging out with us today. We're going to be back next week. By then, Cecil will be an expert on the same thing more. Between now and then, you can check out more from Tom and Cecil on cognitive dissonance, both the show and the mental discomfort. And you can also hear more from Eli and me on the Scathing Atheist, God Awful Movies, and the Skeptocrat. Also, DAD-. Almost forgot that one. If you'd like to help keep this show going, you can make a per episode donation at patreon.com/citationpod or leave us a 5-star review everywhere you can, or both. And if you'd like to get in touch with us, check out past episodes, connect with us on social media, or check the show notes, be sure to check out citationpod.com.
And when he opened his laptop, he found the severed bank accounts of literally hundreds of politicians untaxed in the Cayman Islands.
No.
Jesus Christ.
It's just a story, guys. Just a story.
Are you sure?
Did you know that parents rank financial literacy as the #1 most difficult life skill to teach? Meet Greenlight, the debit card and money app for families. With Greenlight, you can send money to kids quickly, set up chores, automate allowance, and keep an eye on your kids' spending with real-time notifications. Kids learn to earn, save, and spend wisely. And parents can rest easy knowing their kids are learning about money with guardrails in place. Try Greenlight risk-free today at greenlight.com/getstarted. That's GREENLIGHT.com/getstarted.